Bali, you often find that the desserts are really simple and quite a cooling finish to a meal because you've got that hot intensity of the main dish. So today what I'm going to use is some mangoes and bananas, and I'm going to brulee those, and then I'm going to serve them with a sesame seed brittle and some ice cream. First of all, we'll get on to the sesame seed brittle. It's really simple, one of the best recipes I've got up my sleeve. And all we need is half a cup of sesame seeds, some brown sugar. You can use white sugar, but I like to use the brown here. It gives it just a little bit more colour. 2 heaped tablespoons, and then in there with a little bit of water, and just start adding a little bit at a time. Mush it around. So this is so easy, this little item, and it's really, really beautiful and quite impressive at the other end of it. We're just wanting to mash this up into almost a paste, just slightly wetter than that. A little bit more water, adding it drop by drop at this stage. So you can see that that is more or less just a paste of sugar and sesame seeds, just the 3 ingredients, that and the water. Now I've got a lined baking tray here. What I've done is I've curled up the edges because this does tend to really spread out in the oven. So now I just want to put some little discs on here. And then just spread these out a little bit with your spoon, although they will really do this in the oven as well. I adore this sesame brittle, mostly because I think it looks quite impressive to people, but it's really easy to cook. Now that's on about a medium heat, needs about 20 minutes. Keep an eye on it because sugar can really burn quite quickly, but what's going to happen is it's going to spread out, so don't worry if you go and have a look and it's all spreading out, that's what it's supposed to do, and it bubbles up, and then when we take it out of the oven when it's cooked, it's all toffeed up, and it should go quite brittle and crisp, and we can crack it over our ice cream. What I'm going to do now is I've got a really great way to make quite cheap ice cream look fabulous. Here I've got really basic vanilla ice cream, and I'm going to jazz this up with a bit of Indonesian flavour. I'm going to zest some limes into here, just like that. Look at that colour going on in there. And what I did was I took the ice cream out of its tub, and then I just popped it in this bowl and I've let it soften in the fridge, just so that it's easier for me to work with, and then I can put it back in the freezer until I'm ready to serve it. Now I'm going to add some toasted coconut. This gives it that beautiful, interesting flavour. What I like about that is you also get the texture of the coconut through there, just a slight crunch for your mouth, which I think it really likes. Give it a bit of a stir around. Suddenly, very plain, boring, cheap vanilla ice cream starts to take on rather a gourmet sort of a flavour. There we go, into the freezer. Now I think my brittle might just about be there, so I'm just going to go and check on that. Now that looks just as I want it to look. I can see it's been bubbling, those sesame seeds have started to go golden, and once that cools down, it's going to go really brittle. Okay, now I'm going to grill some fresh fruit, and I'm using mango and I'm using banana. And a little bit of a trick with these is to brulee them, or grill them if you like, with a bit of sugar, and then they just take on again a much more exotic flavour. Now with my mango, cut the cheeks off either side of the large pip that runs down the middle of a mango. 2 nice clean cuts like that, and then this wonderful little crisscross pattern, so that after I've grilled it, you can turn it out like that, and then you've got these lovely little bite-sized pieces that you can just pop into your mouth. Great. We've got that, and I'll do a couple of bananas, just cut them lengthwise and leave them in their skin. Now what I'm going to do is preheat my grill here, and I'm using a grill plate on top of the stove, but you can do this on the barbecue, you can even do it under the grill in the oven if you want to. The idea is just to get a bit of colour on the fruit. So sprinkle some sugar here on your board, and then dip each piece of fruit and get a nice coating. And by dipping these in sugar, you're just going to be able to get a really nice sort of bruleed effect on the fruit. Now this is quite hot, but it's not smoking, which is just the way I want it, because once this sugar hits the grill, it'll start all going on. Place these nicely on the grill, and we just need to grill that sugary side. You can use any other sort of fruit that's in season, really. You can use plums, nectarines, peaches are great, pears would be good. They look great. They're just starting to get a little bit of colour on them, and that's what I want. I don't want them to be too dark, but I do want them to look golden. So let's get this on our plate. Oh, that looks beautiful. Then our banana, also beautifully bruleed. And now what I want is a scoop of my ice cream, my gourmet ice cream, into my glass. Oh, how good does that look? And my lovely brittle, which is now just that. It's quite brittle. It's definitely not soft anymore. And this is beautiful. Throw some on the plate and in the ice cream. Perhaps another bit in there. Garnish with a little bit of fresh lime. Even give that fruit just a little bit of juicing. Beautiful fresh limes. Turn our mango inside out so that we can then eat it really easily, just like that. Gorgeous. And what you can do is you've got your own little spoon here to just have a little try. That is so beautiful. And the things you can do with plain ice cream. That's a great way to finish a Balinese meal. Those intense flavours of the curry finished off with this cool, refreshing and really simple dessert platter.